Jesus, fuck, that's some dramatic music. And welcome everyone, I'm the Zen Bear, and I am currently very sick. Doesn't matter, I wanted to play 1900 Gary. An RPG horror adventure sort of thing, featuring a thing called Gary. And this game was developed in 48 hours for the Asylum Game Jam of 2013, so it's a pretty old game, reasonably so. It has 9 endings, so let's see if we can get them all. Excuse my very sick voice. Overland Pond was certainly full of wonders. I grew up here, so I'm pretty well versed in them. There was a square mile field that was full of weeds, all overgrown and yellow. Gnats? What the fuck are gnats? And flies buzzing all around. You could sit down in there and you'd be completely concealed. Nobody on the sidewalk is gonna see you, and nobody driving up Quivera or West 111th could see you either. You could probably whack off in there, okay, dude, pretty descriptive, if you wanted to. I tried once after finishing a shift at Subway, but the bugs kept getting in my ears, throwing me off my game. The storm drainage tunnels behind Calvert Park, me and Eduardo found out that if you head into them and make 2 left turns, you come to a sewer drain that has a clear view of my house. We smoked weed from a 7-Up can from that spot. Some old man walked by and started shouting, "Fire! There's a fire in the sewer!" And we ran right out of there. It's normal teenagers, right? But there was one thing that wasn't so wonderful. 1900 Gary. It started as a joke in our group, but this dude, who used to live in the neighborhood, his name was, you guessed it, Gary. Dude loved his name. He had one of those nameplate necklaces, you know, like in Ratchet Girl culture, Gary in 14-karat gold in a dainty little cursive font. Gary vanity license plates. Even his phone number was 555 Gary. I didn't even think you could do that. It wasn't just his name he was proud of. He also liked to show off his body. Nary a Saturday afternoon would pass when you wouldn't see Gary hosing down his sport utility vehicle, wearing nothing but a speedo, shades, his Gary nameplate, and a smile. One of our friends, Sean, made a bit of a hobby out of making prank telephone calls to 555 Gary. He'd call up and say, "Is this 1900 Gary for all my Gary needs?" Or some crap like that. Gary would get so pissed, and Sean would record his reaction and email it to us. He'd do this in the middle of the night, mind you. None of us found Sean's calls particularly clever, but it was funny listening to Gary getting all worked up. He'd say things like, "Boy, I'm gonna get you in my trap, and there will be no escape, because when you mess with Gary, you're playing with fire." One day at school, Sean told us he was going to make the best Gary call yet. He asked us to be online at midnight so he can make it a conference call. He really wanted us to hear this for some reason. But at midnight. Alright, finally playing the game. Enter to interact with objects, okay? And slightly jog. Try examining everything at different times. You never know what you may find. This game has multiple endings. Don't be afraid to try different approaches. Be sure to save your game first. Gotcha, game. Thank you. So we have to do things at different times, which is going to be challenging because, well, 9 endings is a lot to find. The Home Shopping Network is on. It's my favorite! Really, dude? Really? You're not that old yet. Anything out the window or in the trash can? Not really. Upon closer inspection, I notice a small amount of soil on the floor around Waldorf's pot. I need to remember to start putting the newspapers down again. Waldorf, shame on you. Yeah, shame on you, plant, for not cleaning up after yourself. What's this? This is my favorite poster. It's balls of all shapes and sizes. I see. Okay. There's a book here. Scary Stories, The Telephone Repairman. Maybe I should give it a quick skim. Hold that thought. Okay, The Haunted Cowpoke. That sounds better. It was a foggy night in Dodge City when the cowpoke rode into town. Fog was uncommon in Dodge, but there it was, plain as day. The cowpoke didn't pay no mind, though. All he needed was to wet his whistle. He dismounted his horse, hitching him to the bike rack outside of Senor Frog's. "You're a fine steed, Marcus," he said to the beast, as he gently patted its rump. As he made his way into the saloon, the jingle of his spurs and the click-clack of his stiletto heels turned the head of every patron in the joint. The cowpoke didn't pay no mind, though. All he needed was to wet his whistle. With a mighty sigh, the cowpoke sat himself down on top of the counter. "Say, bub," he bellowed jovially to the bartender, "how about you set me up with the sarsaparilla?" The bartender looked up and gave a sour frown. "No can do, chum." The cowpoke removed his hat, mopped his brow with a cocktail napkin. He was getting very thirsty by this point. "Well, why not?" "Because," replied the bartender, "we don't serve ghosts." Ooh, creepy. That was spooky. And kind of underwhelming. What's the other one? The telephone repairman. "Does it say telephone repairman across my chest?" he asked me, motioning from his right nipple to his left with a stubby index finger. It didn't say anything across his chest. He was wearing a striped shirt. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to answer, so I left the office. I stepped inside the ladies' room, ducking into a cubicle and sitting in the porcelain throne. Sitting on the porcelain. It's a bit difficult to sit in the porcelain throne. Preparing for my morning sob sesh, as Cosmo calls it. The tears don't come at first. Like all good things, they come to those who wait, those who concentrate. I remember when I was 5, and my dad said I couldn't stay up to watch Married with Children. I remember the end of My Girl, too. What the hell is she talking about? I remember the time I tried to buy Illusion of Gaia, but it was sold out. It's around then that I realize all my sad memories are solely reliant on intellectual properties, and my tears began to flow. Freely like the river of time, my howling sobs echoing against the cubicle walls in a dizzying demonstration of bathroom acoustics. How liberating, how re-energizing, and so good for the skin. I rub my eyes and cheeks in those circular motions, giving myself a salty facial. I'll be the envy of the Elks Club for sure. I regain my composure and step out of the restroom. A woman stands across the room, pouring Alpen into a bowl. She's looking in my direction, and she's looking disturbed at that. I twist my reddish face into a smile and wave. I won't lose my job over this. That was spooky. I don't really get that story. That was beyond kind of my comprehension. Anyway, we're supposed to talk to people, right? Let's talk to people. Connecting. Welcome to Owl. Taco Lover has entered the chat. Butt Blaster. Sup, Taco? Yo! Looks like we're all here. Where's the man of the hour? He'll be here soon enough. Sean never misses an op to mess with Gary. It's like 1 a.m. I don't think Sean is coming. This bloats goats. I'm going to bed. Alright, guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. What the heck? Darn it, it must have been a power surge. I was just going to go to bed, but I should probably reset the breaker in the basement. I can access the basement via the kitchen. Okay, I will. Let me just save first, because this seems like a decision-making time. Did I save? Yes. Okay. First thing, because the power is out, take the TV, check the TV, dark. Displays nothing but my reflection. Well, I don't need the power, I can just go to bed. Maybe I should just forget about the power outage and just go to bed. Fine, do it. That night, I had a tedious anxiety dream. In it, someone called Roger Augusta posted pictures of himself on Facebook, snorting drugs, surrounded by hookers, and then tagged the picture as me. My dad, who was the Gnostic rooster serpent god Abraxas, grounded me. He kept yelling at me for taking drugs and objectifying women. I kept trying to explain that it wasn't me, but he wouldn't believe me. And that's when I woke up. The power must have come back on by itself overnight, because the Home Shopping Network was blaring away on the TV. They were selling samurai swords. I thought about buying one, but then I remembered that I didn't have a credit card. Wait, wasn't I telling a story? Oh well. Ending 2, no credit blues. So this is already the second ending? I gotta do more things to fuck this up. Alright, let's try and get the power outage fixed. Where is the basement? Wait, is this a basement? Oh, Lacey. Hey, Lacey. I didn't know there were people in this house. What's the deal? The power just went out all of a sudden. Spooky. I know. Lacey's computer is dark and silent, just like the rest of the house. It doesn't respond. Get away from my computer, you nerdlinger. Fine. The cursed milkshake. Can I read without any light? Apparently so. There are plenty of places to get a good milkshake in this town. Dairy King, Bucklebee's, even Big Lamar's milkshake off I-35. There's one place I'd recommend you avoid. Just west of South Lake Park lays a run-down old mini-mall. It has all the usual things that you'd expect to find. Chickadee trophies, Apollo wigs, and a liquor store just called Liquor Store. At the end of the strip, though, is a small shop with no name. Its windows are so dark, with tobacco stains that you can't see inside. But a sign hanging on the door reads open 24/7. When you step inside, you'll be greeted by the owner, a small rotund fellow called Herbert. They say he's a voodoo practitioner from Branson. Herbert sells nothing but milkshakes of different flavors. He asks you to pick a flavor and pay an exact change only. If you select a strawberry milkshake, you'll simultaneously combust. If you select a blueberry milkshake, all your blood will drain from your body. If you ask for anything else, Herbert will request that you leave. I don't know what happens if you don't have exact change. That was toe curling. A bit short, but very captivating. I would like to know the rest of the story. What's in your drawer? I bet this drawer is full of lacy garments. You're being a creepo. Knock it off! So I'm guessing that's her sister. Don't go through my closet! Okay, fine. We won't. Still need to fix the power. Is this the power? Door leads to my parents' bedroom. After dark. Horrors beyond one's wildest imagination take place in there. Yes. Bizarre light enveloped me, blinding my eyes and dissolving my skin. It was over in an instant. I found myself floating in a void of nothingness. Beyond comprehension. What the hell is going on in my parents' bedroom? Okay, that was interesting. I didn't expect there to be a black hole in my parents' bedroom. Fine, we'll just go fix the fucking power outage and ignore the entrance to hell that is in our house. Is there a door here? No. Okay, freaky door. Hello, plants. What's this? This is the bathroom. My reflection stares back at me from the mirror. Don't forget to wipe. I could do this all day. Maybe later. Anything in here? The tub is empty, save for a few stray hairs and beads of moisture. Maybe I should take a bath in the dark. That's probably the exit. Yep. Can I explore, like, around town? Oh. Well. Got a young buck who's decided to break curfew, have we? Oh, officer, this is actually my house. Sure it is, buddy. And the next thing you'll be telling me is that you just stepped out to get some fresh air past midnight. Come on, midnight cowboy. You can explain yourself down at the station. But it is my house. The police took me to the station on grounds of loitering and breaking curfew. They kept laughing and making jokes about how I was going to have to undergo a cavity check, but they didn't follow through with it, thankfully. They made me take off my shoes and socks, and they also looked under my armpits. I didn't think the armpits would make a very good hiding place for any contraband. Unless you had a little skin pouch, like a kangaroo. That'd be cool. Anyway, they fingerprinted me and kept me overnight. Not in a cell, but in this, like, conference room. They brought me in this youth guidance counselor lady. She kept telling me about God's plan for me, and I think I would have preferred the cell, to be honest. So then my dad came and picked me up. He was PO'd. I got grounded for the rest of the year. And that's the story about the time I got arrested. Wait, weren't we talking about something else? Juvenile Delinquent. So I think that's 3 endings that I've gotten so far. Pretty random. Still trying to fix that light. Okay, kitchen. Kitchen is good. The phone's dead too? Man, what a pain. Can I get a snack? If I don't get the power back on soon, all my fudgesicles will melt. Oh no, not the fudgesicles. The power out, I can't use the oven. I think I'll have to start the game again at some point, just before the power outage, because you can probably interact with all of these things. Time to go into the basement. Creepy, creepy. I opened the box to find 100 toilet cleaner diskettes. That seems a bit excessive. Shall I take one with me? Always. You always need one of these things. Yeah, you never know. Toilet hygiene disaster. No matter how many times I flip the circuit breaker, the power just won't come back on. The phone? It's no use. This is pointless. Is that our phone? Oh shit. The phone's going bonkers. Hello? You've reached 1-900 Gary for all your Gary needs. You're through to the big man himself. Life is life. Death is death. Gary is Gary. Boy, I am gonna get you in my trap. And there will be no escape. Because when you mess with Gary, you're playing with fire. Oh crap, I quickly slammed the receiver down. Does this mean Gary knows where I live? What does he want with me? He should be after Sean. What's that sound? What is that sound? It's like on repeat or something. That is a weird sound. Where's it coming from? This doesn't look good. That awful sound seems to be coming from within the toilet. I better be prepared. I do have a toilet diskette. I look into the toilet bowl. It seems unusually dark. In fact, it's pitch black in there. Except, I think I can see something gold glittering within the bowl. Should I talk to the toilet? Talk to the toilet? Yeah, fuck it, why not? Is somebody in there? Gotcha. Dressed in his favorite speedo, sunglasses and nameplate necklace, Gary stepped out of his front door and took a deep breath. There's a smooth summer wind, he beamed. The perfect weather to wax the Gary-mobile. As he began to buff the hood of his prized automobile, a man approached him. Gary didn't know the man's name, but he recognized him as a neighbor. My son's been missing since last night, said the man, with a pained expression on his face. You haven't seen him, have you? Gary looked to the man with a concerned expression. Can't say that I have, neighbor. I'm sure sorry to hear that. I'll sure keep my eyes peeled for your boy. Say, ain't that the third kid who's gone missing in the past few weeks? Gary asked the man. Fourth. You don't think there's a predator around, do you? Gary smiled at the man. Here, in Overland Pond? This here's a nice neighborhood. Assuming the worst ain't gonna help you much. I'm sure your boy's out there safe and sound. Probably just didn't want to eat his broccoli or something. The man returned Gary's words with a pained smile. You're right. You're probably right. I'll keep looking. Thank you for your help. You just keep a cool head, sir, and you'll find your boy. As the man walked away, Gary began wiping down his headlights. He was going to have the cleanest car in the cul-de-sac, and the babes were gonna love him for it. Gary's summer vacation ending 5. Oh dear, so Gary was hiding in the toilet bowl or something? Oh dear. Maybe I should have saved. I'm just gonna do the whole, electricity breaker thing, and then I'm gonna clean the toilet. I better be prepared. Oh, he broke my window! Fucker. The mirror's been smashed. 1,000 mouths frowned back at me. There's a time and place for a bubble bath, but it ain't here right now. Okay, let's deal with Gary. Don't forget to wipe. Pitch black in there. Except, I can see something gold. Throw the cleansing diskette into the toilet. With a mighty splash, I pitch the toilet cleansing diskette into the bowl. No! With the dark power dispelled, I flush the toilet. All my fears swirl away down the drain in a clockwise spiral. It turns out the call was coming from inside the bowl. I'm not sure how Gary got in there. In fact, I'm not even sure what Gary was. The very next day, a foreclosed sign was posted outside Gary's house. The neighbors think he ran away in the night, but I knew what really happened. I don't think I'll ever fully understand the events of that fateful night, but I've got some advice for all you kids out there. Don't be a dick. You might just summon an unfathomable horror into your bathroom. Yeah. What were we talking about? Hey, who wants a fudgesicle? True end. Cleansed. I see that Lacey's got her Christmas wardrobe on display. Don't diss my clothes. I'm warning you. Do that one more time and you'll be sorry, dweeb. I'm warning you. Do that one more time. Okay. That's it. You're so dead. Oh shit. She killed me. Lacey gave me quite the walloping. I cut my losses and went to bed crying. The next day, the guys and I were scheduled to meet up in the storm drainage tunnels near my house. Everybody turned up, except for Sean. Dude's always flaking out for some reason or another. Ending 8. Butt kicked. Our sister kicked our butts. What else can I mess with? I think I messed with my sister enough. Or did I? There's a book here, the Chevronomicon. Maybe I should give it a quick skim. Have you been invited to a potluck dinner? Before you accept this gracious honor, make sure you've decided on a suitable dish to bring. One quick, easy, and cost-effective option is the deviled egg. These bright and cheerful embryonic ovals are known to put a smile on everybody's face, and they'll disappear faster than an emaciated corpse in the presence of circling vultures. Well, that's a nice image. I want this book. This is a nice cookbook. Deviled eggs are so ingrained into our culture that they have become a symbol of unending love. They are particularly popular on Valentine's Day. I feel a dense throbbing in the center of my brain. Continue reading? Yeah, why not? Recipe for deviled eggs. Hard-boil the eggs, cut the lengthway. Mustard, mayo, paprika, ego. Mustard, mayo, paprika, ego. Mustard, mayo, paprika, ego. Mustard... I don't really remember what else happened that night. It couldn't have been very important. A few weeks later, it was Sean's funeral. It was a beautiful memorial, and Gary gave a touching eulogy. It was really nice of him to let bygones be bygones. I brought a plate of my signature deviled eggs. They went like hotcakes. The secret is to add a pinch of Tabasco to the egg yolks. Also, don't use too much mayo, otherwise they're just runny and gross. Ending 3. Bedeviled. Man, I could go for some deviled eggs right now. Well, I just better reach into the toilet. Rolling up my sleeve, I stick my arm in the toilet bowl. Ew. I managed to grab the gold object, but it seems to be stuck on something. I can't pull it out. I kneel down as to get a better look inside the bowl. That's when I realize it's a nameplate. Reading Gary. Attached to a necklace. Around a neck. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed. Up to the elbow, my left arm was completely missing. I wonder how that happened. The last thing I remember was sitting in front of my computer. Hey, that reminds me. When I was in the 8th grade, my gym coach had one arm. My gym coach. Music, okay. Music by Team Piss. Thank you. Well, that was a weird ending. So apparently Gary can hide in toilets. That's a weird neighbor, isn't it? And I started another game because I really ran out of ideas on what to mess with during the nighttime. Maybe there's something we can do during the day, like clean up our pot or something. It's almost midnight. There's no time to mess around. Oh, I guess we can't. Did I get all the endings? I'm not sure. Maybe I can just go to bed. Maybe I should just go to bed. Yes. That should be an ending. I had a most peculiar dream that night. In the dream, I had a job interview at the video rental shop. Calm down, music. As an employee was leading me to the interview room, I remarked, "Hey, good thing I don't have any piercings or tattoos, huh? I guess I'm a shoo-in." When we entered the back room, I heard a gurgling sound coming from behind a plastic curtain. The employee pulled it back to reveal a fat, naked man, sprawled on a bed, with a long-haired, thin man pressed tightly against his flabby chest. "Boss, you're supposed to be interviewing this gentleman," the employee exclaimed. The fat man gurgled, "Not now, I'm drunk." And that's when I woke up. The next day was relatively uneventful, but I couldn't shake the feeling I was forgetting something. Ending 1. A good night's sleep. And I think that's all the endings. I'm gonna check again while I'm editing to see if I got all of them, but if you like this game, it was quite alright for, a little RPG maker game. You'll find the links in the description if you want to play it yourself, and, I'll see you in the next Let's Play.